Welcome back to the realistic road to glory. We start with a promotion rival in Notts County today. A team, of course, that you guys voted against us doing this save with. We currently sit a single point clear of MK Dons and 7 points clear of third place Gillingham. Comfortably now inside the top three, although just as we've gotten ourselves comfortable in the top three, just as quickly could that change if form goes against us. Big episode today in terms of volume of games. County, Morecambe, Wimbledon, Salford, the other side that you rejected for this save, Cheltenham, Grimsby, and then Barnsley at home in the semi-final of the EFL Trophy. So 7 games today. Before then, 5 games, probably actually. So, no, you tell you what, it depends if we beat Barnsley or not. That's what happens. It depends if we beat Barnsley or not. Regardless, we're going to start with Notts County and hopefully have a decent episode from here. Saying thank you to those of you on the board behind me for your continued support in the comment section. Thank you, AJ Miller. Thank you, Justin Brown. And thank you, Ian Dunn, for your continued comments in the comment section. We do have 3 press conference questions to bring to you throughout the course of today's episode that we will do after each of the played games. So this time around it's just able to jump straight in and less of a waffle, really. One thing I did want to point out was that you guys are quite rightly mentioned that in real life, actually, Diabate's been recalled by Exeter City. Now, unfortunately, that news came out a little bit too late for me to act on it, but we're not planning on having Diabate back at the club after next season, so I don't mind the fact that in real life he's gone. I might consider not playing him for the rest of the season as a result because he's not in the club IRL. But I don't know how much of a poop I give about actually replicating that, to be honest. But we'll try it. And if results start to falter, then maybe we throw Diabate back in. But we'll put Burn in for now and we'll see where we go. In fact, what I could do actually is put Smallwood in at centre-back and then put where are you, sir? Stevenson in at CDM, which is why we brought him in. Smallwood can absolutely play at centre-back. There's no reason why he should have a -1 there. He's certainly good enough. And that actually will work quite well. So we'll do that instead. All right, swish. That way Smallwood still gets the captaincy and still gets to play. You guys are still deciding on whether he gets a contract extension or not. I get manager of the month, though, so yay me. Right, Notts County then. Come on, let's get cracking. County with a 5 back. Robertson and Matt Palmer, the 2 in midfield, with Giovanni Brown, Josh Martin and Jody Jones. The 3 up top. Alex Bass in goal, ahead of Sam Slocum continually. County in 6th in the division, pushing for that playoff spot. Of course, we saw in the last episode that from 4th to 7th, or 8th even, was a single point. There was like 4 sides on 50, and then Barrow on 51. So it's pretty tight right now for those playoff spots, to say the least. And there's only a single point, as you saw earlier, between us and MK Dons for the title as well. So it's going to be pretty tense throughout the course of the entire season remaining for a number of sides for a number of different reasons. But hopefully we can get the result here against County. They've still got, obviously, the high-rated Jody Jones at 68 on the left-hand side for them, as well as the majority of their squad being in the mid-60s, 4, 5 and 6-ish. But we're decent ourselves, despite the fact we've had to rotate a little bit for this game because of stamina. It's not a problem. We will be okay, I think, longer term. Actually, one thing I didn't mention in the intro is that Corey Evans has been released IRL as well. So if we're going to drop Diabate from the matchday squad on almost every occasion, then I will also drop Corey Evans. In fact, Corey Evans has been released completely IRL. So I may well just release him in this save. Perhaps I'll see what live chat say about maybe just nullifying, cancelling the loan of Diabate. If he has been recalled IRL, which is the case, then maybe live chat get the opportunity to have their say on something in the moment. Wow, that was not far away. Palmer, Brown, Jev with the effort. Jev with the effort wide. Got to be better than that, but so have we at the other end. Jones. Oh, it's a great ball into the channel. Keeper's not going to get there. But Giovanni Brown misses the target. That wasn't far away at all. Patterson again. I'm waiting for Walker to make that run. There he goes. He's in. bring it down, finish it. Good save, keeper. It's done well there, Alex Bass. It's a really good stop. Johnson to Tyler Smith, quickly to Walker. We'll try the same, but the other way round. Smith! 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 No, can't score. Lapsley, Gilbert. Ready? Smith! It won't go in. 35th minute. Either side could have scored so far. Neither side have. That's a terrible header. Johnson forward to Gilbert. There's a bit of room here, you know. Their 5-back has opened itself up a little bit. And Tyler Smith needs to turn the defender. He's done that well. But he can't find the target. Would have been a stoppage time goal to go 1-0 in front. Chances at both ends here. It's a very open game. Gordon with the throw. Martin brings it down. Nicely back to Gordon. Jatta's just off the bench, but they've looked in the middle to Jody Jones. Jatta could win this header, though, and has he ever? Notts County 1, Bradford City 0. Jody Jones went for the acrobatic. But it was a bog standard, simple bonk with his bunts. That hit the defender in the face, and then, well, there's not really much of a battle there. Jatta is quite the physical specimen. 75 jumping on him as well, as you could see there. And from that range, keeper didn't really stand a chance. We had the better chances in the first half, but it's Notts County that take the lead. Oh, he's done me there, Jatta as well. He could be in for another. He is. Talk about instant impact. Wow. I think the boos are a little bit uncalled for, to be completely honest, from the home fans. But if we have a look at the match facts and the events, it's pretty remarkable. Jatta on 52, scores 54, 56. Maybe they should have started him. They could have been 30 goals up by now at that rate. Oh, County are really turning on the style now, aren't they? Starting to really open us up. This is some excellent football. If Jatta comes off the bench and scores a hat-trick, it's the biggest and best substitute appearance we've seen all save. Jatta scores a 10-minute hat-trick off the bench. He's going on the shortlist for next season. Lapsley will look back to Smallwood. Maybe to Lapsley again round the corner. He's got a bit of space here. We'll go for a worldie, but it's hit his teammate in the hand and, well, Notts County, or did it hit him in the hand? Oh, it's our free kick. Well, I'm not going to be able to get that up and down, so let's lay it short. And then Pattison! Yep. That's not a bad strike, that. 3-1. Game on again with 17 or so minutes to go. Probably not, but still a good finish. See ya. Not quite so much. Didn't go according to plan, did it? Here's Jody Jones now. And Jatta looking to get an assist. And for them to get a fourth. Yep. The comeback is not on. 4-1 Notts County. From biggest win to biggest loss. Such is the nature of football in League 2. It took a set piece to cut apart or open up this Notts County backline. And to be fair, it wasn't really cut apart. It was just already so close to goal from the free kick that we had a good goal-scoring chance anyway. Walker's fouled there, but play will continue. Walker will go for a worldie of his own. Not score it, but it was worth a go. Goal difference could be very important, of course, at the end of the season, especially with the nature of the league title being as it is right now. With MK Dons being just, well, previously 1 point ahead of us, now potentially up to 4. Not only is it our biggest defeat of the season and a kick in the teeth, it's a kick in the teeth that could potentially, if we can't recover our form and MK Dons hit their stride at this stage of the season, it could be a defeat that costs us the league title potentially. We've already played and beaten MK Dons twice this season, so we can't do any more against them personally. We just have to hope that, well, really, they have Notts County left to play this season, don't we? And that they start Jatta. Jatta to Makari here. Makari's shot blocked. Is he going to give them the chance to have the corner? They'll have the opportunity to make it 5-1. Of course, we pray that they don't. But Matty Palmer will deliver. And they haven't. Ness shoots wide. That's not gone according to plan. But Alassana Jatta with 4 attempts and 3 goals in the space of 10 minutes. And then an assist a few minutes later. Certainly the best individual performance against us all year long. Live chat have decided, and probably accurately so, that Cheick Diabate, considering he's been recalled in real life, we will terminate the loan in this save, as Bradford in real life won't have him for the remainder of the season, and it happened after I'd recorded the January transfer window episode. Otherwise, I'd have done it then. I can do it now. I have the opportunity to. It is the more realistic thing to release him now and not have him for the rest of the season than it is for him to play in games that he's not going to play in, or more games than he's not going to play in real life. And we're also going to release Corey Evans, who in real life, his contract only ran till January, which I wasn't aware of, and which obviously isn't a thing in FC because the game's not coded that way. So Corey Evans is another player that isn't at the club now, so we will release him too. I'll do it in a moment, though, because what I need to do for our stats tracking in our squad tracker is make sure we take note of their stats, their performances, etc., for our overall performances for the save. So I will do that, then I'll release them. We do have the capability and depth in the squad to not worry about those players leaving. We also today, at the end of the episode probably, will have our youth intake as well. So very much looking forward to that too. But first things first, we need to release the players that I shouldn't have anymore. And from there, we can head into the next few games and hopefully pick up some points. Because that was frustrating to lose to Notts County. MK Dons picked up a win in their game, so they now are above us by 2 points, and we're back down to second. Just prior to this first game of the next set of fixtures, we will have our first press conference question, which comes from Connor. It says, what are you expecting from this season? Do you expect automatic promotion or playoffs, which was what you originally thought at the beginning of the season? Judging by the league table, we do have a game in hand on MK Dons now, who have drawn their match day 35. So we have the opportunity to draw level on points with them at this moment in time. We have ourselves a 12-point gap still to 8th place outside the playoffs. So I would anticipate it being an unsuccessful end of season from this position if we don't get automatic promotion. The title is neither here nor there. It would be lovely, but it's not the be-all and end-all. But if we don't get automatic promotion, then considering we currently have a 6-point gap with a game in hand and potentially 9-point gap, which we'll find out in due course as we go and simulate this next match day, then really, I think we've failed. A little bit of changeover needed for this next fixture, as you can see, but we have the squad depth to be able to deal with that. Baldwin can come in and then everyone else is fully fit. So a win against Morecambe will have a 9-point gap to the playoffs. Defeat against Morecambe, we have a 6-point gap to the playoffs. Cook with a late goal back for us, but that's back-to-back defeats for us now. We did go on a similar run earlier in the season where we picked up a few defeats in a row and had a little bit of a wobble. We can't really afford to do that again at the moment in time. We lost Gillingham and Cheltenham and Wimbledon in 3 of 4 there. Then there was a few draws. Was it earlier in the season? Then 3 of 4 there as well. And 3 league games in a row because Swindon was in the cup. So yeah, we have occasionally had the wobble in us. And that's back-to-back defeats now. And Wimbledon away in 3 days' time isn't going to be a straightforward fixture either. Must win this next one. Or at the very least, don't lose it. 5 back for Wimbledon as well. It worked very well for Notts County against us. And I think we lost to Wimbledon last time we had them as well. Roman Sawyer's in their midfield. I think we lost to Wimbledon last time we played them. You guys know what my memory's like. And recalling what fixtures have been. But Bobby Poynton back in the side now after missing last one through lack of fitness. And very nearly, Tyler Smith in to make a difference in the opening couple of minutes. If everybody can play like Alassana Jatta did in the last game, then we'll win by an absolute margin here because he absolutely bossed us off the bench. Oh, can I get to that? No. It's in between 3 players, unfortunately. Stevens. We did lose to Wimbledon, didn't we? Stevens got a header and then they scored another one late on. I'm having flashbacks. Here's Bugiel. Omar with a shot, Walker with a save, and then Comfortable gather up at the second attempt. We're away from home here, down at Plough Lane. That's a terrible pass, mate. What are you doing? So it's not going to be the most straightforward of fixtures, and the crowd will be on our backs the whole time. But if their players keep playing passes like that, then they'll be on their backs too, which will be lovely. Poynton's going to beat his man, and it just... Oh, Tyler stopped his run, but no, he has been able to be slotted in behind. Can he get the shot away? Yes, but a good save by Goodman. I think we had on FM in a save with Cambridge. He's either on loan from Crystal Palace or has signed for Wimbledon from Crystal Palace. Smith's in. He's got to finish this time. He's not going to miss from there. We will have our 1-0 lead. Get in. Forward to Lapsley. There's space here. Their 5-back has, well, not got 5 in it at the minute. I'll drill it. Oh, and it nearly found its way through. We'll take the corner. From the set piece, can we maybe add a second? Wright will deliver. Stevenson's up for this. It's not quite going to reach him. Richards will get to the loose ball. Lapsley, turn, spin, bend, whip. Oh, nearly caught the keeper out of the near post there. Can't quite get there. Smith. Don't want him to find that. Oh, I didn't even see that through ball as an option. That was ingenious. Thankfully, Walker was equal to it, but blimey, that was close. Sam Hutchinson will whip and will half get away. Patterson just needs to make sure, please. That's not really making sure, is it? Down to Smith and Stevens. Was it him who flicked earlier? I'm not sure. It might have been Smith. Whoever it was. Certainly has better vision than anyone in my team. Here's Smith again now. Good block. And we will clear. We won't clear. We will clear. Trying to hold our lead until half-time. We won't clear. Here come Wimbledon again. Dearie me. They are pressing hard and tackling well. And Roman Sawyers could try and get that back to a teammate. I don't really know how he's been able to turn me there, but he's given the ball away horribly. And now Smith will play in Poynton. And Bobby will look to race away. And he's done that very well. He's left the defender for dead. Bobby Poynton's got Tyler Smith with him. If he can just tuck this back. No. Corner. Okay. Right. With the whip. Up we go, please, Ben. Corners and headers in general are just a little bit dead at the minute, aren't they? They really need fixing. Oh, my God. So does Patterson's left foot. Jesus Christ, pal. That's got to be 2. Furlong. They're really good at building chances, Wimbledon. They always seem to have someone in space and always seem to find them too. Hutchinson going to take this corner short here to Smith. And that's a decent delivery. And Stevens with the header. But if it was in a corner, may well have found itself in the back of the net. 5 minutes into the second half, it hasn't found its way into the back of the net. And we still have our lead. Although Wimbledon are not to be deterred from trying, are they? That's a great ball. Oh, and Wright's got there first. Tyler Smith is forward with me, but Wright might go solo here, as he has every right to do. And we've scored a second, and that might just be game. Lovely turn by George Lapsley, who's certainly made an impact since arriving from Gillingham, hasn't he? I'm sure Bradford fans would be hoping he has a similar impact in real life as well. Tyler Smith, oh, it's a great take. Shame about the finish. Probably could have taken it a step further and tried to slot it, but comfortable enough with the way that the game is going, was I, that we decided to just have a crack and try and score a more aesthetically pleasing goal. Give that shot there to Patterson. He certainly scored an aesthetically pleasing goal in the last game. Someone in the box, please. Oh my God, nearly an own goal. That's why sometimes you just got to smash it across the face of goal and see what happens. That could easily have been 3-0 via a Wimbledon man. Halliday's won that back really nicely. And Wright will look for Tyler Smith, who's going to be onside here. And will he have another goal today? No, outside of the post. Had got there. And then they get away. Sawyers takes the advantage. Brilliant ball to Bugiel. Need to win this. Richards is up well. Just get rid, please. 2-0 can quickly disappear. Just seen how Notts County can score 2 goals in 2 minutes. And 3 goals in 10. So let's ensure that Wimbledon don't do something similar and ruin our day here. This is the return to form that we very much needed. And thankfully, do look like we're going to get. Still a busy month remaining. Culminating in that big game against Barnsley in the semi-finals of the EFL Trophy. If we hadn't had the couple of defeats earlier in the episode and had built up a bit of a lead at the top of the table, I might have considered maybe playing that game against Barnsley. But with automatic promotion on the cards and potentially a title too, I want to prioritise the league at this point. If we're just kind of mid-table fodder in League One at any point, then that's a terrible free kick. Then we'll go for the EFL Trophy. But we've kind of not cared about it, not paid it any attention, and somehow found ourselves in the semi-finals this season. 2 goals to the good here, though, and 3 points to go with it. Thank you very much, Wimbledon. Second in the league, but still 3 points behind those at the top. In MK Dons, Grimsby have now won 6 games. Look at them go. They've won like 1 in 19 earlier in the season, so their second half of the season form has been decent, but not good enough to get themselves out of the relegation zone. Salford here are the away side, so since I've started talking to you, there's no point just waiting for the graphic to come up for the sake of waiting. This is their starting lineup. Jamie Jones in goal. Hadi Mnoga at right back. Curtis Tilt, Negru and Edwards at centre back with Luke Garber at left back. In the midfield is Osama Ashley. Patreon player for the first time in a starting lineup against us, I think, Adam Starr. Then Tyrese Fornah alongside him. Kylian Kouassi up top alongside Francis Okoronkwo. And they've got some decent players on the bench, including former Hull City player and star of our save with Hull City at the time, Hakeem Adelican. Cole Stockton's a very good go-to. Ben Woodburn's on the bench as well. A winger that doesn't suit the formation, but may well get called upon from the bench in perhaps a striking or central mid position. We'll wait and see. But Salford are mid-table. Again, the other side that you guys neglected to vote for. A sizable amount of you did vote for them, but not enough of them, or not enough of you voted for them. First thing that Ads has done against me is put in a perfectly timed interception. Dear Adstar, please don't, mate. I know you're watching in chat. Go away. Please let me win. Thank you. Francis. Well intercepted, Bradley Halliday. Not so well played in the past, Bradley Halliday. Francis to start. And to tilt. Oh, it's a lovely turn by Kouassi. And here's the support. Straight the keeper. Chance. Oh, it's a poor ball from Sam Walker. It's also a poor ball from Tyrese Fornah. But it's fallen kindly for him. Salford are difficult to play against at the moment. I'm not having anywhere near as much fun in this game as I did against Wimbledon. Having to concentrate far too much. This is kind of the in-between of County and Wimbledon, actually. Although, to be fair, first half against Notts County wasn't that bad. It was only once they brought bloody Jatta on that we had a problem. Oh, can't quite get to that. Can we get to that? Well, yes and no. Yes, actually, we can. With a free kick. George Lapsley, why not? Wham! Oh, that was travelling. Good hands, Keeps. Good hands. Johnson into right. Get there, get there, get there, get there, get there, get there, get there. Oh. Okay, come on. Let's break them down. Wimbledon played a similar formation, and they just, at times, opened up for us. Salford have just been so resolute in their defensive discipline. We haven't found any space. And when I have found space, on the rare occasion, we haven't been able to take advantage of it. Like that. There we go. Bit cheeky to chest control it like that, but I don't mind. Oh, lovely turn. Oh, and the deflection will squeeze it past the post. Tyler and everybody in a Bradford shirt today has done everything possible to try and get the ball in the back of this bloody net. And it just won't go. No matter how hard we try. Inside to Stevenson. It's been all challenge sunshine. You tell top left, or could tell top left, it's been all Bradford of late. 68% possession, 3 chances. Although, I think, to be fair, most of those chances came in literally that last highlight. But the ball just... I'm going to back on the bloody net, please. Patterson's come off the bench here, trying to have the impact, the desired impact. Oh, God, we're getting closer. It still won't go in. I had to take Lapsley off. He was booked, so I couldn't risk a red card. We were never going to get the victory if we got a second yellow for him. And I'm having to put in far too many tackles here to really be comfortable that we're going to be able to avoid that extra yellow. Stevenson through the gap. Is he going to go again? He thought about it. We'll lift this. That's not really as accurate as it needs to be. Half an hour to go here. It's going to be... It's got 1-0 written all over it, basically. Whether it's us or them, someone is going to score a single goal and take all 3 points. Halliday. Lovely touch, Bobby. Great run. Alex. Tuck it back. Tyler Smith. There's no runner from deep. So we'll have to go solo. And that was on target and needed saving. But stop it he did, Mr. Jones. Neither goalkeeper shown any weakness in this game so far whatsoever. And it is a very hard-fought point by either side's defence if, indeed, it ends as a draw. Which it very much may not. But both goalkeepers still remain on top. So it very much might. Smith for Andy Cook. Star off for them. And on in the midfield, someone with fresh legs for Salford. Can we get one of those trademarks so far in this saves? Andy Cook late goals. Maybe. Ordua steals in and runs away with it. And out wide to Poynton. And Andy Cook is going to be the man in the middle. Can we find him with the cross? That's the question. The answer is yes. The header is not in. Was on its way in, but is not in. Good save again by Jones. Is it possible to give a man of the match to both goalkeepers? Because I think they deserve it, really. Is there one final twist? Maybe. Oh, if that ball finds its way through, yes. But no. It's a 0-0 draw against Salford. Well, one of each in the played games today. I don't think the boos are really justified, to be completely honest. That was a very entertaining 0-0. The fans definitely got their money's worth from an entertainment value. Oh, and then Kedon's lost, so if we had been able to sneak a win at the death, we could maybe have sent ourselves
just a couple of questions for you.
Joint top of the table again. We'll downplay Smith's game. It was all right, but the result didn't go our way. Smallwood's fine. As we head our way into the next game in the league, we have our second press conference question coming in from Eziez that says, seeing Tyler Smith is in great form this season, the fans are questioning whether he can keep it up. As manager, what's your opinion on this, and how will you and your staff help him to carry on his prolific goal-scoring form? Quite frankly, we just need to keep giving him the ball. If I show you the player stats, he's the second top goal scorer in the league right now with 18 in 27. So it's been a hell of a season for Tyler Smith. He's only grown to 62 rated in video game FC terms. So we will obviously start the season next year with him as our main striker. But if he doesn't hit the ground running in League One, I don't know whether we'd be able to afford to wait until January to find a new striker. We might maybe bring someone new in anyway and wait and see what happens. We do still have Andy Cook, obviously. We do still have Callum Kavanagh as well, who's out on loan. And Harry Ibbotson, who's probably not ever going to get the chance, unfortunately. But there is the opportunity for Tyler Smith to continue to grow with dynamic potential. And hopefully he does do so. This game, we can sim with the first teamers and hopefully get a good result. Yay! Lapsley with... Bloody hell. Lapsley with a hat-trick. Go on, George. We win away from home against Cheltenham. Up next is going to be the big one. The semi-final against Barnsley in 3 days' time. But we'll have a quick update of the spreadsheet before, or after, sorry. We've had the final press conference question, which comes from the man that just played against us for Salford, Adstar. Says, with people looking ahead and a real chance of promotion, while you can't name specific individuals, what areas of the pitch are you looking to potentially try and address if you were to go up to League One? And would you look towards keeping on your ageing players, or would you look like additional support in the squad for them? Or would you like additional support in the squad for them, should he say? Or should I say more accurately? I think the ageing players... Well, Corey Evans is already gone. Smallwood hangs in the balance. He's only got 1 year left at best. Andy Cook's only got 1 year left at best. Sam Walker's been great, but whether he can make the step up, I don't know. So we will probably... I know I wasn't going to mention individuals, but certainly the goalkeeping area is where we could do with some extra squad depth. We've got a youngster that's not good enough and a 39-year-old, now 40-year-old goalkeeper coach that's nowhere near good enough as well, who's retiring at the end of the season. So we will need another goalkeeper of some sort of quality, whether that's to start or to supplement, I'm not sure. But we have areas of the squad that will need improving and will look to be improved in. But we don't know yet what our financial situation will be next season. We don't know yet if we're going to get some bids in the summer for players that we would consider potentially fringe players and might not actually want to keep on longer term. It's up and down, really, with a number of positions in the squad. I think the fullback areas are pretty solid. I think the wide midfield areas are pretty solid, but the core of the team could be strengthened. The opportunity to go to Wembley, at least I think the final's at Wembley, in this early stage of the season. as strong a side as I could possibly put out against a League One, so a decent League One outfit as well. And it is, unfortunately, defeat in the semi-final against the better team Bradford, I was going to say, the better team Barnsley. We hope that next season, provided they haven't gotten promoted or relegated from League One, because we look likely to be going up to the league above, that we can get the better of Barnsley. But there is a little bit of an underlying story there now, with some payback to be offered if the chance arises next season. Nice to see Peterborough lose. The final will be Fleetwood versus Barnsley in that particular competition. Up next is, well, it's bottom of the table Grimsby versus top of the table Bradford. MK Dons are having a little bit of a wobble of their own. We thought we were going to wobble. They've wobbled. And with 8 games to go in the league, we have a point lead at the top of the table. Will that increase itself after this next round? There is not any prize money there, because in real life there is no prize money for semi-finalists. We knew, after checking IRL figures, that we needed to get to the final to do that. Youth player Alfie Swift is unsettled. Youth player Morgan Bradby is unsettled, in which case we will have a look through the youth academy then and see what we're going to do with that youth intake. We've had a look at our youth setup, and there are a number of players that are too good for us to sign right now. So what we're doing is we are releasing them into the save so that at some point they might become good enough. A number of these were 14 or 15 years of age that with the live editor I've made 16 so I can call them up and then release them, because when they were basically, my youth academy got full very, very quickly, and I needed to call those guys up to release them to be able to bring in the people I want to bring in, and I couldn't because they were underage. So I've made them 16. So yes, they're in the 40s, but they were 14 or 15 years of age. So just so you guys can remember some names, because your guys' memories is better than mine. Someone actually in the comment section was like, "You better not release Ryan West." I'm so sorry, but he is going, because he's too good for me to sign as per the rules of the save, which we've put in place again as a reminder to stop the increase of the club too quickly. So all of these guys that we're releasing here have the potential to be 77 rated or higher. 77 or higher, because at present we can only sign people that are up to and including 76 rated, because Bradley Halliday is our, and now actually Tyrrick Wright, are our highest rated players at 66. So that's all these. Oh, and Penman. No, Penman was one that I actually... No, Penman needed to go. He came up just because he was 16. I didn't actually have to edit his age, but I did have to release him. So in the Youth Academy, we have called up everybody from the scout reports that we feel like we want to. And really, the only player that could add something to the squad right now is Morgan Bradbury. So we will call Morgan Bradbury up to the senior squad. We will promote him as part of this youth intake. There are a number of others here that could be half decent, but at present we're not going to jump the gun and call them up just yet. Rory McCall could be pretty decent though. I'd be slightly tempted to call him up with 61 defensive awareness, call him up and loan him out next season potentially. Elliott as a fullback, really decent physical stats actually, but at 5'9", not really able to be moved to any sort of position that isn't defensive, and obviously his technical stats are pretty rubbish, but could supposedly grow quite well. But will he? I don't know. If there's anybody here you feel I absolutely should call up and keep, then let me know. Barber has some pace. His technical stats are getting there with his defending, so there might be some options there. I've obviously need to put development plans on a number of these kids. John Sanders has pace, so whilst his window is lower, he's got some good pace, and he's a dead ball specialist, although free kick accuracy of 43 doesn't necessarily shout dead ball specialist to me at present. But he does have some good physicals, so he might be someone that could potentially be useful. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see as time goes by. Again, Carter Stevens got some pace. Whipped pass is his play style. 81 acceleration, 78 sprint speed. Not quite as good physically as John Sanders, but a higher potential window. So it's hit and miss, isn't it? Lewis Pope at striker. Doesn't move much, but across the board, quite all-round physically. And then technically, 62 finishing. Lewis Pope is a player that I think I could call up, and to be fair, he'd probably replace Harry Ibbotson because he's better than Harry Ibbotson and could be better than Harry Ibbotson. And his potential window is right at the very top of what we could do. So I will call him up now. I think I am then going to call Rory McCall up and Elliot as... Was Elliot the one with a decent technical? No, it was Barber that had the decent technical stats. So I'm going to call Barber up as well. The rest, I think, will probably sit here for the time being. The others aren't old enough to be called up anyway. Albie Locke, as a striker, is 5'7" at the minute, but obviously can grow. 5-star weak foot, has the aerial play style. So you would expect that he will grow quite well in that area. But obviously at 15 years of age, there's plenty of growth to come. So these guys aren't in the team. The rest are in the team. They will join on youth wages, which I'll edit with the live editor at £450 a week. And then we'll wait and see how those guys grow. We will loan them out next year. With the scouts we've got and with the way that it works, we're just going to be flooded with youth players every single season. So it's going to be quite the effort to keep on top of it. And we're not necessarily going to sign everybody because otherwise I'd have 1,000 players. And I don't want 1,000 players, nor can I have 1,000 players. So we're going to be, after this first season, perhaps a little bit more selective with who we call up. But with this being the first season and the first intake and our basically average rating and most of our squad being quite low, we can kind of bring more through because there's more that might potentially make it to the first team. As we progress, the club progresses, the squad progresses, there's going to be less options that might well make it to the first team squad. And of course, to reiterate, we don't need the financial sales from the selling of youth players to help complement our income. We are already at present earning enough. So that was a good 20 minutes it took to sort all of that out. So let's go and finish the episode with the final game against Grimsby in the league, where hopefully we can stay top of the table. 2 unread messages. It's going to be youngsters, is it? No, it's Sarcevic and Richie Smallwood wants his contract. He's absolutely desperate for it. With some of those youngsters coming up, I don't know. I don't know whether we will. We're absolutely going to have to make some changes here, though, to ensure that some people get some first-team football. Lapsley for Odor. Sarcevic can come in. Kelly for Baldwin. Johnson for... Well, Bradbury, why not? He's higher rated than Richards. Bradbury's come in and will get his start. Not only has we had a youth intake, a youth player has come in and will start the very next game. If he scores, I'll be blown away. He didn't. He got substituted in the 79th minute, but he made it nearly the full 90, so fair play. Gilbert and Cook give us a 2-1 win over Grimsby. MK Dons won by 2-0, unfortunately, so they keep the pressure on at the top of the table. There is still only a point in it in the fight for the title. But with 7 games to go, we will probably end the season tomorrow. Depending on who those fixtures are against. I might play every single game in the run-up to the end of the season to adequately find out whether I do or don't deserve the title. I might do that, actually. Yeah. Go on, then. We'll play every single game remaining this season, unless, of course, we absolutely fuck it, or MK Dons absolutely bottle it, and then we can just sim our way to the end from there. But lots of youngsters brought up. Whether they're any good or not longer term, we shall wait and see. But certainly there is some potential there. Ben Stevenson has developed well. He's up to 64, which is good because he's on loan and potentially a player we could bring in. Stevenson's a weird one because he's 64 rated, but we play him at CDM. And I almost guarantee you that he might well be better as a CDM, although his tackling stats aren't great, actually. He's much better on the ball than I anticipated he was. I thought, actually, he was going to be slightly better than that defensively. Regardless, he's been pretty decent, but the youth setup is going to be a weird one. It's obviously not a youth RTG, so we're not going to prioritise youth. We will still prioritise real-life players, but the youth are a factor, and evidently they have been factored in this first youth intake. Drop the video a like if you've enjoyed, and you're enjoying the save continually. Please let me know your feedback in the comment section down below. Which was your favourite of the youth players that we called up? Who do you think has the most promise? Which player are you most gutted to see me release of those that we let go? Will any of them come back to haunt us later in the save? They may well do. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. I shall see you tomorrow.